Great. Wait for everyone.
All right, here we go. So today we're just talking about steps for open house success, preparing for them, day of, and then converting leads. So of course, as always, if you guys have any questions during this, feel free to stop me and we're happy to discuss them. All right, so first thing we want to discuss is you don't have a listing, no problem. You can offer to host an open house at another agent's listing, whether they're on our team or within EXP. You can do them without EXP as well, but they get a little bit trickier. If you have an opportunity like that, just give me a call before you agree to it so we can talk through some of the issues with that. Same if you're a listing agent and you have an agent from another team that wanted to host. I won't go too deep into the weeds about that here, but let me know if that comes up and we can talk through it. So some options of getting open houses for you if you're not heavy on listings. Watch our Slack channel for the coming soon listings for upcoming listings, and obviously ask the agent if you can host for them. Go into the MLS and view any coming soon listings listed by EXP. Look in Raven for our office exclusives and reach out to those listing agents, and make sure you're following all the North Star Alliance Facebook pages for additional open house opportunities. Sometimes other teams within the Alliance post them that I see frequently that they're needing open houses to be hosted. So once you get the open house, prior to the open house, invite your database. This would be great use and opportunity, email feature and follow-up boss. Post on social media. Obviously, always feel free to lean on our marketing department to help create a template for you and post to all the proper social media channels. If you're hosting for another agent, ask them to post it as well. Invite the neighbors. We recommend that you door knock your neighborhood the day before or morning of using the 10-10-10 method. 10 in the front, 10 on the side, 10 on the other side. If you kind of narrow it down to that versus just thinking that you need to do the whole neighborhood, you know, this can just help you narrow it down, not make that feel so overwhelming. Know the ins and outs of the house, especially if it's not your listing. Make sure you know the features of the home in the neighborhood. You know, if it's not your listing, talk to the list agent to gather more information about the property. If it, you know, I also the day of would typically print the MLS printout, so I had more information. You get those off questions of like, what are the taxes? What is the exact finished square feet? So just having that on hand can be helpful. List open house on MLS. This is typically something Michelle will take care of as long as she's aware of it. You want to try and get that, you know, on there as soon as you can, so advertise for as long as you can. People are aware of the open house coming up, and post on any local Facebook community pages. I know Facebook has recently had a lot of changes with what they do and don't allow regarding community pages and what you can and can't post as far as home sales. If you can't do it, the seller probably will certainly can. So make sure that the seller is aware of their community pages and putting them there, and ask the seller to post on their social medias as well. Some tips for setting up the seller up for success. Obviously have the home cleaned and presentable, beds made, no dirty dishes, have the counters wiped down. A big one, lock away all valuables and prescriptions, jewelry, tablets, memorabilia, guns. All of these things should really be locked up. I know prescription drugs is a big one that people will go into open houses looking for. So just some tips for the seller. Have all the blinds open and lights on. Seller needs to remove any pets. Make it fresh. Baking cookies or simply filling the sink with a cleaning solution an hour before the open to make it smell fresh and clean. If anybody wants to know, that's my cleaning hack. I do that myself when I'm having company over. If I haven't been able to clean, I put some Pine Sol in the sink and no one knows any better. Make sure all the bathroom rugs are washed. This is one where so many smells can hide in there. So just have the rugs freshly washed before the open. Have the seller avoid cooking any strong smelling foods in the days leading up to the open. Those things can really linger. Don't try to cover up smells with plug-ins, candles, etc. It makes it seem like you are trying to cover up an odor, and buyers honestly do notice that. And also just hide pet supplies. A lot of people have their dog dishes, cat bowls out. Those can just be put away during the open as well. All right, day of open house. Go live on social media. Get to the house early, turn on all the lights, and go live on your preferred platform to give a sneak peek of the home. I don't think you need to do a full walkthrough, but talking about some of the main features of the home or what the seller's main, the piece that they love the most about the home, etc., can just be a nice teaser to get people in. Set up proper signage. The more open house signs and directionals you can have, the better. Consider attaching some balloons to the sign that's in the front yard. This just gives a little bit more notice to the property. Obviously, bring your business cards and market materials. The next one we're really excited about, and that's creating a QR code for sign-ins. So if you guys want to write this website down, HamiltonHomesTeam.com/open-house. So you go there and literally you input your MLS number, and there's a drop down for you as the agent to put your name, and it's going to create a whole QR code for you. You can then either have that open on your laptop or iPad in open house, or you can print it and you can have it laying on the table. And when potential buyers come in, they literally scan that QR code, input just their name, email address, and phone number, and it's automatically going to link to your follow-up box as a lead for you. So this is huge. It's a huge way, I feel like, to get potential leads information at open house, and it's far more advanced than just having the sign-in sheet sitting there. So this is a really cool feature. Again, I'd write that website down. I just did it before this open house, and it literally took me like 22 seconds to create that. Another thing to consider is just play soft open house appropriate music, and just kind of help set the mood for the open houses. Day of open house, bring other comps of the area, use the opportunity to be a neighborhood expert. This is another thing. I don't know if you guys can see this at home. Marketing has created these amazing binders that you can bring to your open house, and you can have them sitting as additional material at the open house, and it's labeled off-market listings. Another way to do this is you could literally pull this up on Raven. Pulling it up on Raven, though, you need to do it on your desktop, not just your phone, because you have the first page in here. For those that are here, you can see it's the heat map. So this shows all the off-market opportunities that are listed in Raven. We're also going to have about 10 of these binders put together for you in the office, so you could come grab one and have it at your open house. Or again, the other option is to actually put it on your laptop in the house. But it's a way as another talking point to, again, nobody wants to be sold, especially in an open house, but it's kind of a soft entrance into like explaining resources that you have available to them that other agents don't have available to them, right, with these off-market properties. So that's another great tool and resource for you to make an open house successful. Obviously, be positive and welcoming. Do not hide in the kitchen. Greet and make yourself known and make the buyer feel comfortable. We already talked about this one. Know the property, have the MLS printout so you know things like finished square feet, taxes, updates, etc. Switch up the timing. Sorry, I was just looking at the chat. Consider hosting a 4 to 6 p.m. on a weeknight, or try Saturday mornings. Open houses don't just need to be held on Sundays from 1 to 3. I can honestly tell you some of my most successful, most attended open houses were on a Thursday from that 4 to 6 time frame. And people loved it because they were able to swing in on their way home from work, oftentimes before sports started, where weekends they might be full of sports or other activities. So it doesn't just have to be your standard Saturday or Sunday. Consider other unique time frames for holding an open house. Does a Friday 9 to 11 work? Probably not, but a weeknight open house can be just as successful as a weekend. Obviously get feedback, make sure to chat with the guests before they leave to get some feedback and learn more about what they're looking for. So this is kind of twofold, not only to get more information about what they're looking for, but also for you to be able to provide information to the seller on the feedback that you got from the house. Post open house, go through the home and make sure everybody is gone. You don't want to lock anybody in there. Turn off lights, lock up, and remove all signage. Call seller and give a recap, pass along any feedback, number of attendees, etc. What I want to point out on number of attendees as well is kind of reminding people that, you know, if you have 6 people through the open house, but then you have limited showings the next couple of days, reminding the seller that those 6 people that came through would have been 6 individual showings, right? So keep that in mind. This one's really important, sending a quick video to each guest. Parker and I were talking before this, and Hannah as well. You know, Hannah had mentioned a lot of times when she was hosting an open house, right after open house, she had showings scheduled, other things blocked off for that day. But if you would just do a half hour after that open house, even if you're sitting in the driveway and you send a quick video to those leads, each, you know, it can be a generic one, obviously a personalized one. If you only had a few through is going to be better, but just, you know, if you wait, you hold the open house on Saturday and you're not contacting them till Monday, well, 2 days have gone by now since you've made another touch point with that potential client. So sending that quick video right after that open house, just thanking them for coming and maybe adding in any additional information that you may have gathered when you were discussing with them. And then uploading the prospects to Follow Up Boss. Again, if you use that QR code, that's a great opportunity for it to just automatically do that for you. Marketing your open houses. Every Friday afternoon, our marketing team will post upcoming weekends, open houses on Facebook and Instagram stories. To add open houses to the MLS, email Michelle or feel free to add yourself in Add Edit. Consider this scenario. Parker posted this last week, so it's just kind of reiterating that information again. 1 open house per week for 10 weeks, 2 per week, 5 weeks. So basically, if you convert 20%, you'd sell 20 homes. And if you convert 10%, you'd sell 10 homes. If you convert 5%, you'd sell 5 homes. You know, at a 5% conversion rate, you'd gross $54,000. 10%, 108, 20%, 216. Again, it's all about math. You know, holding open houses, especially with the changing market, is a great opportunity for you to do some additional business, meet additional people, and create more opportunities. Again, time versus money. 10 open houses would take around 40 hours of work, 2 for the open itself, 1 putting out signs, 1 prepping at the office, and at a 20% conversion rate, that's $5,400 an hour. I like it. Before I conclude, because I did forget to bring Matt up here and I wanted to put him in front of you guys. I didn't forget, I didn't bring him up when I wanted to. So in addition, you think it is? Okay. In addition to the QR code that we presented to you guys today and the off-market listing binder, whether you do this, you know, whether you grab the tangible binder or you do it yourself within Raven, because Jen, I think you had a question. You can do these yourself. All of this information that Hannah put this binder for together is from Raven. Now I'm going to turn it to Matt because Matt is going to discuss how Flex Mortgage wants to partner with us to make our open houses more successful as well. So take it over.
This will just be quick. We are in process of getting baskets prepared that can be personalized to the property and to you as an agent when you're hosting an open. It's just a basket that you can either pick up here that we can have ready for you, or we can drop off or be there with you as well. It kind of depends on what you want as an agent, but we're willing to do all of those, one of those or none of those, depending on what you want. Depending on where the property is too, if you want special split drops of any type of financing options that we have. If it's, like I said, in the USDA area, we can have USDA info on there on 0% down. But yeah, we just want to be more of a partner in your open house since these are becoming more and more relevant in this market. We want to be a good option and a good resource, good value for you guys. But again, the stuff that we're going to have is going to be branded towards you, the agent, and towards the individual property itself as well. Just simple baskets that are going to have a little popcorn or cookies and water, stuff like that. And then again, any print material that you guys want as well, just let us know ahead of time so we can make sure we have it in stock for you.
So I think some ideas on some great print material would be like a potential breakdown of what a payment could look like on the property.
Absolutely.
Again, it would be great if you wanted to have one of the loan officers there with you hosting the open house. So if someone came through unrepresented and not pre-approved, you have the opportunity to maybe get pre-approved right there on the spot. Just again, adding more value to your open house in an effort to convert more leads.
Yep. And again, if you want the baskets and you don't want us there, that's fine as well. Just let us know.
Right.
I mean, I get some people just don't want the lender. We're not going to be pushy either.
Yep.
But we just want to be an option for you guys. Another added value for whatever you need at your opens.
Thank you.
So yeah, thank you.
All right, so in conclusion, now it's time to get out there and be visible. We can teach conversion skills, we can't teach willpower, right? So I mean, we can give you all the information and the resources available to you to make an open house successful and start converting more. What we can't do is give you the willpower to actually get out there and do it. So I feel like I kind of talked a little fast during that presentation. I don't know why, but does anybody have any questions or anything that they'd like to discuss more on about everything that we went over in this little training? Please don't all speak up at once. It was so great. We covered and mastered this whole list that you guys all feel just armed and ready to succeed and convert open house leads, right? Is that what I'm gathering?
I have a question. How does everybody combat like the nosy neighbors that are just like popping by? The past couple of open houses that I've had, it's just been like mostly nosy neighbors that just wanted to see their neighbor's house.
Yeah, and that happens, and I don't know that there's any way to combat that. Use it as opportunity that maybe they know someone, oh, great, I'm so glad you're in the house. Do you know anybody who'd like to be your neighbor?
Right.
Sharon, were you gonna say something?
Well, also the nosy neighbors are sometimes thinking they're gonna sell their house in like 6 or 8 or 12 months.
Yeah, to Sharon's
Yeah, that's true.
point, be nosy
I was
neighbors
just
because
gonna
you
say,
know-
I usually use it as a time to talk to them to see like, what kind of updates they've done themselves. How does it compare to theirs? Do they know anybody, and are they interested in me coming over to take a peek at their house and give them an evaluation? Because maybe, a lot of times they are secretly interviewing. So sometimes I use it that way.
That's kind of usually how I bend it. And I've gotten a few phone numbers and stuff from it, but yeah, I just wanted to hear what other people had to say, I guess, too. So that all makes sense.
And
For sure.
capture their information. I mean, I know some people are uncomfortable with like asking to get people's information that come through their house, come through the open, like they don't want to seem too pushy. And I think a great way to combat that is telling them the seller has requested, right? So then it doesn't sound like it comes from you. The seller has requested that I have everybody who comes through their home register. This is their personal home that you're just walking through, and they want to make sure that we've got a record of everybody who's visited today. So that's another approach to not make it sound like you're going to spam them and hound them, which maybe that is ultimately the goal, but that's a way to capture people, especially if they're saying, no, I don't want to give any of my information. I don't want to sign in, etc.
Cassie, just to jump in real quick, one of the biggest advantages that we've seen in HomeBot is that HomeBot actually gives you an opportunity to use a device to sign in with. And then let's say that you have a nosy neighbor that comes over and provides their email and information. You can actually import that person as a homeowner, which they are, and then you are now done. I mean, not done in terms of prospecting or where it might be, but you put them in as a homeowner, they're going to receive monthly information about what their value is, about what the market is doing. And now, you know, one nosy neighbor interaction you have as a potential listing lead, and you don't have to do anything in terms of following up and prospecting. So for those agents that, for those agents that are interested in HomeBot or already have HomeBot, that's a really great tool to continuously engage somebody that comes to an open house who's a homeowner or potentially a home buyer.
Yeah, agreed. Danielle, getting back to the chat, you said holding a neighborhood open house is an option as well. I mean, certainly I would probably just want to do one and get as many people through the door as I could during one open house, just to utilize my time better, but that's certainly an option for you as well if you're wanting to hold just a neighborhood one on. I mean, I think that those are a little bit more difficult to market because you're just having to do that on a one-on-one basis with your door knocking, but that's certainly an option. Any other feedback or questions or objections others have had when holding open houses?
How about annoying lenders that come in?
You know, I have only ever had that happen one time, where a lender did come in and they were actually really nice and not super pushy and just said, hey, we'd love to leave you some material, and then they walked out. So I've never personally experienced a lender that came in and just lingered. I don't know, I suppose if I did have that happen, I'd probably say, you know, this is co-hosted with my own lender. They helped me prepare for this, so I'd really like to give them the opportunity if you could leave. I wouldn't have any problem telling that if the lender lingered around for too long. But has other
I've been
people
hearing
experienced-
that Chase has been doing that a lot. I don't know if it's here, but I've been hearing that Chase is just kind of randomly sending, and sometimes like 2 and 3, like at different time spots. So
I had
I don't
an
know.
agent from Guaranteed Rate earlier this summer to do that, just pop in, and he didn't even look at the house. He just sat there and chatted with me.
I've also heard of agents, and I've also not experienced this, but had other agents sitting in front trying to scoop buyers before they come into open houses. I, again, would have no problem going out and talking to that agent and very politely asking them to leave. And that would be my only advice there, but I've heard of like literally agents sitting out in front of other agents' open houses and trying to poach them. So I'm not suggesting any of you do that, so please don't. I just don't think it's right, but you know, again, I wouldn't hesitate to go out there and ask them to leave. Anything else? All right, well, if you guys have any questions on the resources we went over today, feel free to reach out. Caitlin also put together a checklist of hosting an open house, and just kind of, you know, you can go through and check. If you're a checklist person, you can just go ahead and check off the box for every item that you've done to prepare for your open house before it happens. Again, I hope you guys found this beneficial. I'm going to wrap up now. This will be recorded for anybody who wants to rewatch it, and we will see you all at noon for our team meeting.
Thanks, Cassie.
Thank you.